Hey guys, it's your boy D-Money Games. We're going to be reviewing the Ashes of Outland's cards, one by one. I'm going to be rating them on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. 1 meaning bad / unplayable, 2 meaning... Okay, wait, hold on. 1 meaning unplayable, 2 meaning bad, 3 meaning average, 4 meaning above average / good, and 5 meaning very, very good. Yes. Alright, so let's get into it. First card here, let's go. So, Imprisoned Ganarg. 1 mana 2/2 demon, dormant for 2 turns. When this card awakens, equip a 3/2 axe. So, I mean, a war axe, a fiery war axe is a 3/2 axe, and that costs 3 mana. So you have to wait till turn 3 to play that anyway. So playing this on turn 1, you get a 2/2 on turn 3, and you get the 3/2 axe, and you pay 2 less mana. So it does seem overall just better, but it is a little slower, of course. But this card should see some play in Warrior. I'm undecided between a 3 and a 4. I'm going to give it a 3.5, guys. I think it's pretty good. Next. Alright, Bladestorm. 3 mana. Deal 1 damage to all minions. Repeat until 1 dies. So this card is a little similar to Defile, of course. But that one repeats after a card dies. So it's a bit different, but it can be very, very useful, especially if your opponent has minions that have the same amount of health on the board. It would be really good. I'm going to give this card a 4 out of 5 right here. Should just be a staple in any control warrior kind of deck. Alright, next card, going on to Blood Boil Brute. 7 mana 6/8 Rush. Costs 1 less for each damaged minion. So this card is pretty good just as a 7 mana 6/8. Having average stats for a rush minion is usually good. And then especially it does work for damaged minions on your opponent's side of the board too. So this should be just a very good card in general. You should run it 100%, even probably in any type of warrior deck. We might be seeing like an enraged kind of warrior, so this is definitely going to find a spot in there. But even in a control warrior, it doesn't seem that bad with the new options that we have. So I will give this card a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5, baby. Let's go. First 5 out of 5 card. Easy. Next card we're going to be looking at is the Scrap Golem. 5 mana 4/5 mech. Which mech is going to be a little less important because there are mechs rotating out, but still could be pretty good. Taunt, Death Rattle, gain armor to this minion's attack. Gain armor equal to this minion's attack. That is very good, even if it just has the 4 attack, it's still very good. Having Taunt and being a 4/5 is a little below average, but it's still good. And then that Death Rattle enabling you to survive all the aggro that we're going to be seeing. This card should just be a staple. It's going to be a 2 of in any control warrior kind of deck. Very good. 5 out of 5. Not even a question. Next card. Okay, so the next card we're looking at is Corsair Cash. 2 mana, draw a weapon, give it +1/+1. So this card is pretty good overall. There are a few weapons in Warrior that this could be synergize with pretty well, such as Livewire Lance, Ankar, and the new legendary weapon that we got for Warrior that we will be going over very soon. I think it's a good card. Overall, it's like pretty solid. I don't think it's too great in general. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. You still may play it, but I would think you would be running it as a 1 of, if anything. Next, let's go. Okay, next card we're looking at is Bonjour Rater. 3 mana 3/3. Battlecry, if there's a damaged minion, gain +1/+1 and rush. So this card seems very, very good. There's typically going to be a damaged minion on either side of the board, and if not, you could totally just damage one anyway. I mean, a 4/4 with rush for 3 mana is typically good. This card is comparable to Gobo Glide Tech, which is also a 3/3/3, and it does gain +1/+1 rush if you have a mech on the board, and that is seeing a lot of play in Mech Paladin. So I'm assuming that this card is going to be played in basically every warrior deck. Maybe not a more control-y deck, but this card is just an overall good card. I would, it's close to being a 5 out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 here. Okay, moving on to the next card, Sword and Board. 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion, gain 2 armor. Yeah, this card is very strong. I mean, just the 2 damage alone is very good. And then 2 armor is going to be really nice against all these aggressive decks. I mean, you should be including 2 of these in your control warrior deck to deal with these aggro decks 100%. This is a 5 out of 5 card. I don't see why not. Yeah. I mean, the only downside is that you can't do it to their face, but that's not really your end goal anyway if you're playing a more control-y styled deck. So 5 out of 5. Next card we're looking at is the Warmaul Challenger. 3 mana, 1/10. Battle cry, choose an enemy minion, battle it to death. So this card seems okay. I mean, the stats, it's a 1/10. It seems pretty good, but I mean, you have to think about what you're really going to be putting this into or hitting into with this card. And the more you think about it, the less good it becomes. I think this card would only be kind of usable if it had taunt. But besides that, I don't foresee this card being that great at all. I'm going to give it a... I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. It's very close to a 1. I'm gonna give it a 1. I'm going to give this card a 1.5 out of 5. It's not completely terrible, but it's just not good, so don't run this card. But you can still try it out if you want to. Alright, next. Moving on to a legendary card for Warrior, Bulwark of Azzinoth. Ooh. 3 mana, 1/4 weapon. Whenever your hero would take damage, this loses 1 durability instead. So this card's a little interesting. So when you do attack with this card, if you're attacking into a minion and you're going to take damage, you're going to be losing 2 durability on the card, which isn't so great, but it can allow you to clean up things like reborn minions, maybe a Winged Guardian, a pesky Winged Guardian, and you don't take any damage. Instead, you just lose the durability, which is nice. It could also just be used as a line of defense. If your opponent has 3 big minions on the board, you can just have this weapon up and you'll soak up all the damage, assuming that they can't do smaller amounts of damage before that. I think this card is good overall. I don't think it's insane, but I mean, I could definitely see this being played in a control warrior kind of deck, especially if you can buff this card with maybe something like a Corsair Cash. I can foresee this card being quite good. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, it's good overall. It's solid overall. I just don't think it's going to be a game changer. Too much of a game changer. It could be the difference between living and dying though. So moving on to the last card for Warrior, another legendary, the prime card of Warrior, Cargas Bladefist. 4 mana, 4/4. Rush, Death Rattle, shuffle the Cargas Prime into your deck. So you see the Cargas Prime on the right side there. It's an 8 mana, 10/10 rush. Whenever this attacks and kills a minion, gain 10 armor. That's very good. I mean, the stats are just really good in general. So basically, these Prime cards, they start out pretty decent, and then the Prime that gets shuffled into your deck is very, very good typically. I mean, 4 mana, 4/4 rush is above average, so we like that. And the Cargas Prime is just really great for control warrior in any facet. But yeah, this card is just really good just for keeping you alive. 10 armor is a lot of health there, and it's a 10/10, so it should kill a bunch of things there. It shouldn't really not kill anything. So I would give this card a 5 out of 5. I mean, it's a prime example of a good card. Let's go. Next class. Jeez.